Hi, I'm with Shawn Hendricks Jr., one of the senior loan officers with People's Choice Mortgage, and he's here to tell us what is going on in the real estate mortgage industry right now. How you doing today, Shawn?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. You know, the real estate market has been completely wild for going on almost 2 years now. And, we see a couple different trends right now. On one hand, we see home buyer demand just through the roof. Everyone's trying to take advantage of those low mortgage rates. But on the other side of the equation, you see housing inventory that just keeps reaching all-time lows. So you have this classic sort of economic battle where demand is exceeding supply, so price is just going through the roof. And at the same time, you got a lot of these home buyers that are getting into bidding wars. So you're having houses that people are making offers for far more than the asking price. Now, I remember earlier in this kind of market, this was getting some home buyers into a little bit of trouble because they were having to put in offers in order to win these bidding wars that exceeded the value of the houses themselves. Are lenders changing how they do things in order to account for that? Or is this something that home buyers still need to be aware of?
I mean, the lenders really, well, no, because the lenders are only going to give you that loan based off of the value of the home. So say you go into contract for, 300,000, right? The house doesn't appraise up to 250, right? So now you have a $50,000 difference of what you're under contract for and what the house is actually worth. So say you're in an FHA loan for this instance, you're paying 3.5%. Essentially, you would have been paying 3.5% on the 300,000 had it appraised. If it doesn't appraise that, you have to pay the difference. So you're going to pay the 3.5% based off of the 250 number because the lender still has to give you, 96.5% LTV or loan to value, which is 250. So then you have to pay that difference of that 50,000. Or in most cases, especially in this market, you're going to have the appraisal contingencies, right? So on FHA, there's a whole other clause for that. But essentially, if the house appraises for less than what the purchase price is, three things can happen. The sellers can just back out, the buyers can just back out, or they can negotiate for a price that, say the buyers are willing to pay up to $25,000 extra, right? So then they'll come down to 275. The sellers agree to it. Now you're buying the house for 275, right? And with that appraisal contingency, if either party back out due to the appraisal, nobody is breaking contract, right? So like normally, if you were to just back out of a deal under contract, if the buyers do it, they could lose their earnest money deposit. And the sellers can just essentially take it because you can't just back out of back out of a contract, right? So that's really what's been helping a lot of these clients. I actually had one deal that I closed 2 weeks ago or a week ago, and the appraisal came in like $80,000 light. But the sellers had that purchase price in mind. They wanted that number. They thought the house was worth that. So they almost backed out. We had to do some negotiating, a lot, almost like 2 weeks of negotiating. Sellers wanted this, buyers said, no, we want this. They kept going back and forth. We ended up settling for a specific number, and we ended up getting the deal closed in a timely manner after that. So, yeah, it's been a lot of fun for it, but the lenders, they didn't switch anything up because the market is, I'm not going to give you, 125% LTV just because, the market is where it is.
I mean, I think that this is just another great reason why home buyers should never be willing to waive an appraisal. I mean, not only is it necessary to see if there's something wrong with the house, but I mean, this seems like it could really save the deal, but also just save home buyers a lot of money.
Right. Well, you can't waive the appraisal. You can waive the home inspection. Home inspection is before you sign purchase and sale to make sure there's no underlying conditions on the house that you didn't see or or the realtor missed. You can waive that. The appraisal is required by the lender. The lender is not going to lend anything without having that appraisal to know what the real value is.
See, and this is why I talk to you, the expert, and this is why I'm not talking to people. Like, you're here to set me straight. So I really appreciate that.
I wasn't gonna let that one slide.
Good. No, that's why you are here. Well, thank you so much for setting me straight and educating everybody else on what they can expect. I really appreciate talking to you, Shawn.
Absolutely, man. You as well.
All right. Have a great day.
You too.